It's time for HawgSports Live from HawgSports.com, a division of 24/7 Sports, presented by Crain Automotive. The Crain Team's got 'em. Visit them online at crainteam.com. And now with the latest breaking updates on HawgSports, here's Trey Biddy.
What's up, everybody? Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com, HawgSports.com. Spring football is coming to an end. Practice 14 is today, and then wrapping it up with practice 15, which is also known as the red-white game on Saturday. We're going to break down what we've seen so far this spring, what to expect on Saturday. We've got baseball to talk with Kevin Bohannon, series against Missouri starting today. Razorback roster building with basketball, and the NFL draft coming up as well. All that and more, if you like that kind of stuff, on Hog Sports Live. The Crain Automotive Team has 16 locations across our state and is home to – that's the wrong promo. There's a new promo. Automatically went with that. The Crain Automotive Team knows stretching your dollar is important. With prices at the pump, interest rates, and everything else, we focus on making your life more affordable by offering vehicles with the highest rated fuel economy and safety features, plus a large selection of crossover and hybrid vehicles. We make it easy to get on the road with a vehicle that won't break the bank. We have a vehicle for every lifestyle and every budget. Come get one today at one of our 17 locations or visit crainteam.com. Hog Sports Live is driven by the Crain Automotive Team.
You've done it. Now you're the Crain Cash Champ. You just won big with the Crain Team. Go ahead, soak it up. How could you not feel like a winner? You dominated with our low price guarantee, and you got way more for your trade. Plus, with statewide delivery on thousands of vehicles from 16 locations, and the fact that we'll beat any other dealer's price, we make our Kansans feel like champions every day. That's winning. That's the Crain Team. Visit crainteam.com.
It's amazing what just sets off in our head. I've got all the old promo memorized, so it was only natural. Hey, just want to give a shout out to Darius Acuff, who formally declared for the NBA draft yesterday. Congratulations to him. It was a lot of fun watching Darius Acuff, and appreciate everything that he gave to Arkansas. So go get that bag, as they say. So the roster right now, I think they're like kind of at 9. There's still work to be done. You've got Jordan Smith coming in. You've got Abdu Toure coming in. J.J. Andrews coming in, all 5-star freshmen. Cooper Bowser coming in from Furman, from the transfer portal, 6'11", 215. Jeremiah Wilkinson coming in from Georgia, combo guard, 6'1", 185. Paulo Samito is coming back. Isaiah Sealy is coming back. You've got Billy Richmond with no announcement yet, whether he'll test the NBA waters, maintain eligibility. That's what we'd expect to happen. And you've got Malik Thomas, who has said he will do that. So he is entering the NBA draft while maintaining eligibility. And we know Malik Ewan also declared for the transfer portal on the last day, which I'd heard was happening, but it also makes a lot of sense for Arkansas and for Malik Ewing. Because if Ewan doesn't declare for the portal, then he has no choice but to either come back to Arkansas or go pro. Now, this gives him an option to return to Arkansas. We've seen players hit the portal and return. It gives him an option to return to Arkansas, to go elsewhere, to turn pro in some capacity. So he has those options in front of him now. And for Arkansas, I think it's a good thing because Malik Ewan is now a possibility to bring back, if there's not some other action that happens with them in terms of going out and getting guys. Obviously, we know some things have started to fill up. There are still some guys on the table, obviously. The top-rated player on the table right now is Momcilovic, Milan Momcilovic, yes, from Iowa State. He is still open, 6'8", 225-pound power forward, and Mustafa Cham is still out there, who recently visited Michigan. He's been a guy that has been talked about quite a bit. So there's still some possibilities, but a lot has filled up through the transfer portal right now. I mean, you go through after those guys, and there's not a lot of guys left. Julius Holly, man, why are these names? The Georgetown center, 7', 270. He's number 56 overall player in the transfer portal. He's still out there. But you cross through a lot of guys that are committed before you get to him. So they're going to sign somebody. I just don't know who it is. So I'm just kind of waiting to see. But they need players. I mean, they're at 8.5 kind of right now. So as we mentioned, Arkansas baseball playing Missouri. We'll talk to Kevin Bohannon here in a little bit. So the red-white game. Let's talk about this a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about NFL draft too here, kind of in the middle. But you've got Justin Moore from Poen, which is my neck of the woods. I'm from Sheridan. He's headlining it's the Razorback Foundation Spring Kickoff powered by the Link U. You've got both fundraising sides in there, the Link U and the Razorback Foundation. So Justin Moore's kicking off at 12:45. It's outside of Razorback Stadium as part of the Hogtown deal. And Hogtown stuff starts at 10 a.m. They've got like a classic car and truck show. They've got a petting zoo, interactive games, inflatables, all that stuff for the kids. So there's plenty of fun stuff for the kids to do. It's supposed to be this again on Saturday. It's supposed to be good weather. Tomorrow, Friday, it's supposed to rain some. But Saturday, it's supposed to be nice weather. So, and to get tickets, you can, if you go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com, you can see where you're supposed to buy tickets. It's at the top left. If you're on desktop, I'm not sure what it is on mobile, but it says free spring kickoff tickets Saturday. You click that. It's free to Razorback Foundation members. I believe they get 4 total tickets. It's free if you want to sign up with an email and receive, information from the Razorback Foundation, or it's $10 to get in. So there's several different ways to sign up. So those are the things around that. Now, I mentioned this the other day on Tuesday, but I want to mention again how this works for Razorback student athletes. Since they're promoting the event and it's sponsored by the Razorback Foundation, the Razorback Foundation in this capacity is no different than, say, Tyson Foods or Bittle Armstrong Insurance, if they were sponsoring the red-white game. And they're able to basically, in a roundabout way, pay the athletes in an NIL way. The Razorback Foundation is not for NIL. But in this way, it can be. The Link U is the NIL arm, So in a roundabout way, they're able to boost a little NIL for the players through the red-white game. So that's one reason why the Razorback Foundation is sponsoring it. So let's touch on the NFL draft real quick before we get going, because it starts tonight. There's not expected to be any Razorbacks drafted tonight, but Mike Washington, people are talking second, third round for him, maybe fourth round. Second, third round is what you hear. Third best running back in the draft, 167 carries, 1,070 yards. So he's a redshirt senior. You don't see a lot of redshirt senior running backs get drafted. But obviously he has a different path coming through Buffalo to New Mexico State to Arkansas. So to rush for 1,000 yards in the SEC, obviously not easy. And to go to the NFL Combine and drop a 4.33 in the 40-yard dash, which was number 1 for all running backs, and a 39-inch vertical, which was number 2 for running backs, and a 10.8 broad jump, which was number 2 for all running backs. That's going to boost your stock, obviously. So projected to go as early as the second round, and that's by NFL.com has him that high. The lowest that I saw was round 4 by USA Today. Julian Neal expected to be the next Razorback off the board. They're projecting him. ESPN has him going in the 4th round, number 101 overall to the Titans. So virtually every outlet has him going 4th round. 4.49 in the 40-yard dash, 40-inch vertical, really good. 11.2 broad jump, really good. Number 1 for cornerbacks. 6'2", 203, Fresno State transfer. Went to Fresno State, went to Stanford. Arkansas kind of got lucky because Stanford had a coaching change in the spring, and, Arkansas was able to get him in. Ended up being Arkansas's best defensive back last year. Taylon Green, obviously one of the more intriguing guys in the draft. The video, the quarterback deal with John Gruden is very entertaining. If you haven't watched that, I recommend you go check that out. But Taylon Green, 6'6", 227 at the Combine, 2,714 yards, 777 rushing yards, and 27 total touchdowns last season. Ran a 4.36 at the 40, which is number 1 for quarterbacks, a 43.5 in the vertical, which is a record for quarterbacks at the combine, 11.2 broad jump, which was a record for quarterbacks at the combine. So generally being projected 4th or 5th round. USA Today has him going in the 4th round. NFL.com has him going to the Ravens in the 5th round. So it's kind of wild that we're talking about so many guys getting drafted in the NFL off of a 2-win team, isn't it? Fernando Carmona started all 12 games for Arkansas, 49 career starts, 5.22 in the 40-yard dash. Was an exceptional time. Carmona is being projected to come off the board 5th or 6th round. NFL.com has him as a 5th round pick, 179 to the Jets. The Athletic has him going in the 6th round, number 200 overall to the Panthers. Cam Ball, 27 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss last year. Was beat up also. Been beat up for 2 years, really. 5.13 40-yard dash. Wasn't an exceptional 40 dash at the combine. Most drafts have him going 5th, 6th round. Possibly an undrafted free agent as well. The Athletic has him going in the 5th, 169 to the Chiefs. NFL.com has him going in the 6th, 182 to the Bills. Others have him going undrafted. Xavier Sori, the last guy, this group of 6 that are projected to possibly be drafted. Most outlets have him going undrafted free agent with the possibility of sneaking into the 6th or 7th round. 4.63 in the 40-yard dash. 81 tackles last year, 2nd year in a row leading the team in tackles, 6'2", 228. So a little bit of an NFL combine preview, the NFL draft preview. The draft starts tonight with the first round only, and then on Friday it's rounds 2 through 3, and then rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. And that'll conclude the draft. And then you'll start seeing guys from Arkansas, get picked up as free agents and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Let's play this clip real quick of Tim Cramsey. This is from Thursday's press conference about the quarterback competition before we get into a little bit more on spring football.
They've done a good job, KJ, AJ. It's a fiery competition, but they're working together. Which is good. They're competing against each other, but they understand that it's for the good of the team. Neither one perfect, but there's been improvement every single day. I think I told you when we started this out the last time I was up here that I purposely in the spring put them in bad situations to see if their tool belt that Coach Mitch and myself coach them up on can get them out of that. Okay, I think they both have improved on being pre-snap adjusters. AJ had the little bit advantage early because he already knew the offense and knew the terminology and knew the system. KJ was learning it. But they both have become better pre-snap adjusters. AJ, from the time I met him over a year ago, athletic ability has really improved. And KJ, as you guys know, already has that. So, to say there's a leader in the clubhouse, I won't say that. Just like, we said we're going to talk about it in August. But there's some days where AJ has an edge. There's some days where KJ has an edge.
You guys know how much I value long-standing relationships. Well, I've known Bo Bittle for 25 years, and when I needed car insurance, when I needed homeowners insurance, when I needed business insurance for HawgSports, I called Bittle Armstrong. Bo, Rob Armstrong, and their team have over 100 years combined experience. They work with you just like Auto Owners Insurance works with them. Expect local support from somebody you know. Questions about your policy? Call Bittle Armstrong direct rather than 1-800 number. Auto Owners Insurance intended it that way, so you don't have to wait on hold forever. Don't settle for a generic policy. Wherever you are in Northwest Arkansas, give Bittle Armstrong a call at 479-443-0808 or visit ba-ins.com. Auto Owners Insurance owns an AM Best rating, A+ Superior. They trust people like Bo to work for you. Bittle Armstrong Insurance. Coverage you need, people you trust. I trust Bo. I trust Bo to work for me. You should too. All right. Spring football, depth chart, projections. We don't know how the teams are split up yet. We know that it should be as game-like as possible for this scrimmage. Spotting the ball. I don't know what they're going to do on special teams. A lot of times on special teams, they won't go live. Maybe they'll do punts, but not live, kickoff, but not live. Who knows how they'll do that exactly. But they are going to spot the ball like at the 25-yard line. And, when you get stopped, I assume you're punting. I don't know that they'll just spot it at the other 25. I think they'll probably punt it and, wherever it ends up. Splitting the team evenly. So your best 6 on this team, your next best 5 on this team. flip it the other way around for the other team on offense and defense. So it should be a competitive game, not a situation where they have to say, okay, the defense gets a stop, then they get 3 points. They would do things like that to make it kind of even. I think this will be a lot more fun. I hope they do good matchups pitting Hunter Osborne against Kobe Branham, making sure that you get those kind of matchups with, your first team. They say there's not a first team or second team. There kind of is for some guys. Now, I believe fully that there are players that maybe aren't quite ready yet, that may be ready by fall camp, who could push for a starting job. But just based on what I've seen, we go out there and we track first team, second team, third team, pretty much every practice, okay? So right now, I believe, based on what I've seen, that KJ Jackson will be the starting quarterback and A.J. Hill will be his backup and Braden Fuller will be behind him, Cade Trotter behind him. Obviously, Hank Hendricks isn't enrolled yet, but he's just a junior in high school right now. Wouldn't expect him to factor in. Talking with Tim Cramsey, he said that, they have a goal of 65% completion percentage. He said AJ is at 73% and KJ is at 71.5%. He thinks. He made sure to say, I'm pretty sure that's it, not 100%. So AJ has a higher completion percentage. That's a little bit surprising. I wonder, though, how much of these throws are downfield that are factoring in, because Arkansas throws a lot of short passes, a lot of swings, a lot of throws to the flats, a lot of screens, a lot of RPO type stuff. So I'm wondering how much downfield passing, what those results are. So, but KJ to me is going to be the starting quarterback at Arkansas, and I think we'll see that Saturday at the Red and White game. Should be interesting to see those guys on opposite sides. Braylon Russell, I think, will start at running back. I think Braylon and Sutton Smith are your thunder lightning kind of guys. Cam Settled is kind of an in-between those type of guys, kind of do everything type. And then Jasper Parker would be a guy that I would watch to come on. I've heard Jasper Parker flashing here and there. I heard he had a 50-yard run that was really impressive this past Saturday. And, if you keep making plays, then you're not getting, they're not going to keep you off the field. You keep making plays, you're going to get out there. I think Chris Marshall is your starting split end. I think C.J. Brown is your starting flanker, and I think your starting slot is Ismail Cece. I could see scenarios where maybe Courtney Crutchfield, they move him over to flanker, and he starts at flanker. Maybe Antonio Jordan finds his way into the starting lineup. So if I'm going my top 6 wide receivers, which matters because usually it's about 6, I'm going Chris Marshall, Courtney Crutchfield, Antonio Jordan, C.J. Brown, Ismail Cece, Jamari Hawkins. Those are my 6 right now. Donovan Faupel, DeQuane Prevost, I'm keeping an eye on. And you've also got Jelani Watkins coming in from track, who was a former 4-star recruit who signed with LSU and has transferred to Arkansas. So he's another one to keep an eye on. I don't think this is a bad-looking group of wide receivers based on what I've seen. I'm pretty pleased with where they are at wide receiver. If Braylon Russell can stay healthy at running back, I'd be pretty pleased with where they are at running back. Quarterback gives me a little bit of pause. Tight ends, it's Jaden Platt, Ty Lockwood after him, and then I'm not sure if it's Matt Adcock or Maddox Lassiter, one of those two after that, but definitely Platt and then Lockwood. And you've also got Grayson Gunner, who's the redshirt freshman. All right, offensive line this is the offensive line. It's Kavian Broussard at left tackle, Malachi Breland at left guard, Caden Kittler at center, Kobe Branham at right guard, and Bryant Williams at right tackle. That is pretty much set in stone. That has been every single practice, barring an injury or an illness. That has been the starting 5 on the offensive line. Okay. You've got a little bit of competition with Josiah Clemens and Terrence Robertson for the backup tackle spot, and Adam Hawks. I don't know who the third tackle is. Could be Clemens, could be Robertson, could be Hawks. Okay. On the interior, I'm pretty sure the next guy in is Cash Courtney, whether that's center or guard. You've also got Davion Weatherspoon, who I want to see it. He seems a little bit short to me. You've got Brooks Edmondson also, but I think probably Cash Courtney is your next interior guy. And then probably Weatherspoon. Okay, so that's the offense. Defense has been interesting, especially on the defensive line. They've got a lot of bodies there. And I've mentioned Antonio Sandals Bascom, who hasn't enrolled yet, Allen, who hasn't enrolled yet out of the junior college ranks, so those guys will help them. You've got Quincy Rhodes, David Oakey, and Hunter Osborne likely as a starter. I think that there's a push there from Carlin Jones on Oakey. So who could start at nose tackle, that could be up for grabs. But at the same time, you got to have 6 of these guys on these 3 defensive line spots. So Quincy Rhodes, Sadavian Sims behind him, David Oakey, and Carlin Jones, and Danny Beal. Like, Danny Beal has a role on this team. I don't have any doubt about that. Hunter Osborne, and then Trajan Odom behind him. You've also got Caleb Bell in the mix. You've got Reginald Vaughn in the mix, Keandre Johnson in the mix, and I mentioned Antonio Sandal Bascom also, who I think could definitely fit in here. I've seen him at practices early on. He looks as good as any of these guys. And it is a good-looking group overall, size-wise. It's a good-looking group. It's a group with pedigree from their recruiting days. I mean, Quincy Rhodes was a 4-star recruit. Zadavian Sims was a 4-star recruit. I think Caleb Bell was on at least one recruiting service. David Oakey was a well-regarded transfer, 62, 63 tackles at Abilene Christian a couple years ago. Carlin Jones was a 4-star recruit. Danny Beal was a 4-star recruit. Anthony Kennedy was a 4-star recruit. Hunter Osborne was a 4-star. Trajan Odom was a 4-star. You don't get to say that a lot on the defensive line at Arkansas. So Charlie Collins was a 4-star recruit. He's at the jack position, which I feel like is made for him. I don't know who's starting at jack. Could be Charlie Collins, could be Steven Souls, could be Jamonte Waller. Jamonte Waller was a former top 100 type of guy, so was Charlie Collins. Steven Souls was 3.5 sacks last year at Kentucky. Mike linebacker, Bradley Shaw might be his defense. Jaquavian Smith is the starting will. That seems pretty set. Wyatt Simmons is probably that next guy. And I want to see Phoenix Jackson more. He's been banged up. You've also got Ben Bogle and Jeremy Evans. Kamori House is the star. Ron Roberts thinks that he has potential to play at the next level. They've been working Carter Stoutmeyer, the Colorado transfer, also at star behind him. You've got Tyler Scott, the Georgia State transfer. Field safety, Christian Harrison, I think has kind of moved into that role where he's probably going to start there. And then is it Ian Williams? Is it Tay Lockett? Tay Lockett has been like really good. And then Kiori McGlure at boundary safety, or Miguel Mitchell. I do not have boundary safety figured out. They have mixed that up so much. It might be McGlure. It might be Mitchell. I don't know. I think it'll be one of those two, though. Left cornerback, I think it'll be Lakai Rowland, maybe Shelton Lewis. Shelton Lewis, definitely the third cornerback if he's not a starter. Jaheim Johnson. And DJ Hairston has probably been one of the more surprising guys coming out of junior college. I mean, he just seems to always be around the ball. Has seen a lot of good action out there. Those would be, and then Braden Lee has been a little beat up, so I think he's probably the next guy in at cornerback. I think Max Gilbert starts a kicker. I think Braden McAllister is your kickoff guy. I think Gavin Rush might be the freshman guy. He blew his knee out, so he might not even be ready. But probably Gavin Rush at punter, and then Adam Johnston probably at long snapper. That's what I've seen so far. I'm not sure how they're going to split these teams up for the red-white. Again, there's no television for the red-white game, so if you want to see it, you got to go in person. I'm sure they'll upload some clips and highlights and stuff on YouTube, but that's pretty much about it. Kevin Bohannon is going to join us now. Kevin Bohannon joins us on the Ozarks Go hotline. If you need fast, reliable, consistent internet service, then check out our friends over at ozarksgo.net/hawg. That's HAWG, or call them at 479-684-4900. And they offer several different tiers, gigabit plus, gigabit, which I think is probably great for most people. It's 1,000 megabits per second up and down. It's really good speed for most homes. And, it's just been consistent. I've been very pleased with it. K-Bo, how's it going?
Going good. You still haven't unplugged your modem, have you?
I haven't unplugged my modem once. And people have suggested that I probably need to do that and upgrade. It's a modem router combo,
Yeah.
It's probably outdated by now.
And technology passes us by.
It does. It does. So, Kevin, Arkansas baseball picking up again this weekend, coming off the win over Missouri State. What was that, 12-4?
Yep.
Had a pretty solid ending to that. What was it, 8 runs in the 8th or something?
8 in the 8. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So Missouri this weekend. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen out of the Tigers.
Yeah, I would have never in the last 5 or 6 years since I've quote unquote covered the Razorbacks said it's good to have a midweek resume building win for the Razorbacks, but it's what it was against Missouri State. The Bears were ranked number 16 in the RPI. They are a number 2 seed that's ranked higher than the Razorbacks in terms of seeding, so that helps out Arkansas. Now, going to Missouri. Arkansas needs to go 4-0 this week, 3-0 this weekend. They need to sweep Missouri. They're not good. I mean, they've got good players, but they're 20-21 overall. They're 11-11 at home, 3-15 in the SEC. Arkansas needs to be the aggressor. They need to be the big brother in the Show Me State series this time. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. They've got one pitcher that could give Arkansas trouble, and he will start tonight. That's Josh McDivitt. I've seen him back when he was 16, 17 years old. He can pitch. He's a junior. He's lost all 4 of his conference games because he's their game 1 guy going against everybody else's ace. And Hunter Dietz needs to pitch like that ace tonight in Columbia. It's always a weird place to play because it's a small crowd. There'll be 1,500 fans there. It's just a weird atmosphere. Even going to Columbia for football games and having to do it in a closet, the post-game press conference is a lot of the same stuff for baseball. And Missouri's just not that good. But Arkansas has to play good. I said last week on a radio interview that Arkansas is not a bad team. They're just playing bad baseball. And that was coming, out of the Alabama series. And what they did on last Saturday against Georgia, they got that out of their mouth with that 12-4 win over Missouri State. Just like Arkansas, they do have a game 2 starter, Brady Kellenbrink. He's a sophomore. He's 0-6 in conference play. ERA is 7.96. I mean, Arkansas should jump all over these guys. Their team ERA is 6.2. Arkansas's is 6.08, so it's not that much better. But it's not a very good hitting team. Some Razorback fans will see a fellow Arkansan, Blaze Ward, one of the best hitters on the team. He's hitting 365 in conference play. So shout out to Blaze. Had the privilege of coaching him for a little bit during his showcase days. But it's not a deep lineup. They don't hit very many home runs. They've only hit 13 in league play. So Arkansas should take care of business this weekend. They need to sweep.
So, first of all, that closet is an upgrade. There was one year, I swear, they've got a tent. It's raining. They've got a tent. It's outside. The press conference is outside, like podium and everything outside. They turned a truck on, truck lights, headlights. That was the lighting. Headlights. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, crazy. But,
bless their heart.
Yeah. So, what does Arkansas have to do? I mean, obviously they got to win this. They need to go 3-0 here. But what do they have to do to host?
And I know some fans are thinking that that's not really relevant right now. Let's just get to the postseason. Arkansas can still finish 18-12, folks. It's not far-fetched for them to do that, even though they're 9-9 right now. Let's do our quick math. That's 9-3 over the next 12 games. What does that break down to? That breaks down to a sweep of Missouri this weekend. That's taking 2 of 3 from Ole Miss, taking 2 of 3 from Oklahoma. Both of those series are at home. Then you go to Kentucky Pride Park, Kroger Field, whatever it's called this year, and take 2 of 3 from the Wildcats. The good thing is, all 3 of those teams are ranked higher than Arkansas is right now in the RPI. Ole Miss is around 6 or 7. They were 7th coming out of Tuesday's game. Oklahoma 16th, Kentucky number 30. Now, of course, that could change between now and the time they play each other, but all 3 of those series wins will go towards Arkansas's RPI shooting up to the high teens, low 20s. I could expect them to be out. There are a couple of sites out there that I've gotten to know the guys that run them pretty well, and they have projector, where you can project what a team's RPI would be if they win certain games in a series, if they sweep, where it's at. So I've got them finishing, right about 18, 19 if they do that. If they finish that 18-12 in the conference, they'll get the 15 or 16 seed.
Kevin Bohannon joining us. You can follow him at Cabo Baseball Guru on X and read all of his content at HawgSports. So, I mean, it kind of shapes up well for Arkansas. I mean, Missouri's not good. You play them on the road,
Yep.
so you can sweep them on the road. Ole Miss is good. You get them at home. So, there's a better opportunity to win that series. Oklahoma is good. You get them at home. There's an opportunity to win that series. And then Kentucky's not very good.
Right.
And you go on the road, you could sweep that. So it doesn't shape up too bad here towards the end for them. Yeah, I mean, like you kind of touched on that, but game 3, are we going to see like a different game 3 starter again?
Probably. I mean, look at what they've decided. Okay, these are our 2 best starters right now, Hunter Dietz and Cole Gibbler. They went with Parker Coyle, even though he had never made an SEC start in his career. That this is now his 4th year. He came out the same year as Gage Wood did, the 2022 class. And he has some of the same pitch profile that Cole Gibbler did that gave Georgia some struggles. They thought Coyle could go 3 or 4 innings and work in. And he did pretty good last Saturday. It just kind of fell apart on him after that, but he did have a 6-1 lead. Then Georgia kind of really stormed back and the wheels fell off right there. It's all going to be based upon matchup. Any pitcher that Arkansas throws out there will be a good matchup, whether it be Colin Fisher, even though you look at his SEC stats, he's 1-4 with a 9.72 ERA. He looked really good the other night against Missouri State. 3 1/3 inning, 1 unearned run, 2 hits, and 5 strikeouts. That was the most important thing. That showed me 2 things. A, his stuff is back to where it needs to be like it was the beginning of the season. And B, he's staying out of the middle of the plate because Missouri State can hit. They showed Arkansas that earlier in the season. So it might be Colin Fisher that slides back in that game 3 role on Saturday. Tate McGuire started against Missouri State and pitched really well up until that 4th inning. He had 2 outs, back-to-back singles. Missouri State scored a couple of runs. So I think he'll be used out of the bullpen more. It's just going to be who's left at the end of the weekend. Arkansas is going to want to make sure they win the first 2 games because you never want to go into a game 3 on the road having to win it to win a series. Dave Van Horn would like to get this out of the way like he did at South Carolina, get the first 2 wins. They need to show that they're the aggressor this weekend. I want Arkansas to come out with some emotion. That's been the biggest thing. If you talk to fans, you talk to guys on our people on our message board, there hasn't been a lot of emotion from this team. They just look like they're going through the motions. So come out, play with some fire, play like your backs are against the wall, like you got a chip on their shoulder. That's the biggest thing I'd like to see from them this weekend. Hunter Dietz has pitched like that. He's number 2 in the SEC right now in conference play only with 50 strikeouts. He leads the conference with 84 strikeouts overall in all games played. So it just can't be 1 or 2 guys this weekend. It has to be a complete team effort.
All right, Cabo. Appreciate you, buddy.
You bet. Appreciate you, Trey.
All right, everybody, follow Kevin's information at Cabo Baseball Guru on X and read all of his content at HawgSports, HAWG Sports.com. Okay, so the rosters for the red-white game have just been released, so we're going to go over that. First, I'd like to tell you about our friends over at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. Blakeman's is proud to be the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Ben Blakeman and his team had an exciting year in their new flagship space at 3202 Pinnacle Hills Parkway in Rogers and are continuing their signature hospitality in 2026. Visit them and they'll offer you a free coffee beverage from Cafe B, a glass of their own Blakeman's Prosecco, which, by the way, is offered at various stores in Northwest Arkansas. And they'll offer to clean your jewelry as well. If you can't make it, did you know you can also shop them online at BlakemansFineJewelry.com? It's time to start thinking about Mother's Day right around the corner, so visit our friends at Blakeman's. Built on tradition since 1987, Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry and personalized service. Okay, red team. KJ Jackson is the starting quarterback. Braden Fuller also on this roster. You've got Sutton Smith, Jasper Parker, TJ Hodges. Wide receivers, Courtney Crutchfield, C.J. Brown, Ismail Cece, Antonio Jordan, and Corey Henderson. Tight ends, Matt Adcock, Hudson Hendricks, and Jaden Platt. And offensive line, Caden Kittler is a starter. And Kavian Broussard. You only got 2 starters on the offensive line. You also have Davian Weatherspoon, Adam Hawks, Terrence Robertson. Those are the notables up front. So KJ, Sutton Smith, Jasper Parker, Courtney Crutchfield, CJ Brown, Ismail Cece, Antonio Jordan, some weapons at wide receiver, Jaden Platt, weapon at tight end. So not bad on offense. Let's compare to the white team offense. So you've got A.J. Hill and Cade Trotter behind him. You get Braylon Russell, Markalen Batten, Cam Settles, Chris Marshall at wide receiver, Jamari Hawkins, Monte Harrison, who we've seen a little bit. Monte's been, a little banged up. Blair Urban, DeQuane Prevost, Donovan Faupel. You get Maddox Laster, Ty Lockwood, and Gavin Garrettson. Kobe Branham, Cash Courtney as a backup. Malachi Breland, Josiah Clemens. I think I like the white offense a little bit better. I think I'll go with the white offense. I like the quarterback better. Running back, slightly. Running back might be a wash. Probably a wash at running back. Maybe slightly better for the white team. Wide receiver, I think I like the red team wide receivers better. I like the tight ends better for the red. And offensive line, I might give a slight edge to the white offensive line. Defense for the white. Defensive line, you have Jamonte Waller at the jack, Steven Souls at the jack, so 2 of the top 3 jacks on this team. And then you have Carlin Jones and Quincy Rhodes, so 2. And you also have Anthony Kennedy, Reginald Vaughn. Let's compare it to the red defensive line. Hunter Osborne, Charlie Collins at the jack, Sadavian Sims, David Oakey, Danny Beal. That's pretty even. I feel like they did pretty even on the defensive line. Linebackers for the red, Phoenix Jackson, Jaquavian Smith, Ben Bogle. Linebackers for the white, Bradley Shaw, Wyatt Simmons, Jeremy Evans, Joseph Witt. I like the linebackers for the white a little bit better, just slightly. Bradley Shaw, Wyatt Simmons versus Jaquavian Smith, Phoenix Jackson, Ben Bogle. I don't know. That's fairly even. I might give the starting edge to the white defense. Defensive backs, Christian Harrison, Lakai Rowland, Christian Harrison, Lakai Rowland would be the two starters. You've also got Braden Lee, DJ Hairston, Miguel Mitchell. I bet the other group is better. You got Shelton Lewis, who's probably one of the top 3. You get Kamori House over here. You get Joker Johnson over here. Tay Lockett, who's notable. Ian Williams, who's notable. Oh, these other guys aren't notable. I don't know. Maybe it's pretty. Maybe they just did a good job of making it even. Maybe it's just not a super impressive secondary. But I feel like that's pretty even on defense. I feel like they've done a pretty good job making things even on defense here. Special teams, not worried about it. I'm sure that's pretty even. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give a slight edge to the red team just because I think I like the offense a little bit better, just slightly better. I like the quarterback better. I like the white running backs better, but you got Sutton Smith, you got Jasper Parker, you got TJ Hodges. I mean, that's still a good group. I think I like the overall wide receivers better with Courtney Crutchfield, CJ Brown, Ismail Cece, and Antonio Jordan. Those 4 wide receivers, I think, are better than the top 4. For the other group, you get Jaden Platt also with this group. The white offensive line slightly better, but Kavion Broussard and Caden Kittler, Weatherspoon, and Terrence Robertson, that's not a bad group. I'm going to give the edge to the white. We're going to set an over-under for Bet Saracen for the red team. We're going to give the red team, we're going to call 3.5 points for the red team for Bet Saracen Wager Wagon. I don't know that you can bet on the red-white game, but if they can figure it out, then they probably will put something together because you can bet on table tennis over there. So Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 sports betting app, and if you use the promo code BIDDY250, capital B IDDY 250, and put $25 when you sign up on your first bet, then you get $250 back in bonus bucks to bet on Bet Saracen. So check out our friends over at Bet Saracen.
Arkansas's Fab Five for Bet Saracen.
Yo, Sid, what spread you checking out, man?
I'm checking out the Hogs on Bet Saracen.
You know, Rainwater's exclusive specials and tons of Bet Saracen options make it Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
And they take more action on the Hogs than any other sports book in the world.
Guys, I am confident it's because we do their TV ads.
I agree with that.
Amen.
Bet Saracen.
All right, we're going to get to some questions now on HawgSports.com. Not a lot of comments today. Some days we get a ton of comments. Sometimes we don't get hardly any. The only media I've heard that I haven't heard say it. Let's see. What does Razorback Pride say that I haven't said? Why does the fan and media go from last year to play KJ? He's the best quarterback Arkansas has seen in years, and praying he stays to offseason, putting KJ down and saying Ryan should have went and got a better QB. What? I'm not sure what you're saying, but I've said many times that Arkansas should have. So if you're saying I didn't say this, I have, but Arkansas should have, in my opinion, gone and gotten a proven quarterback. KJ may be great. Maybe it's AJ. Who knows? Maybe he's a gamer. But personally, I feel like you go out and get a proven quarterback. If you don't, it's just a lot to risk because you don't know what you have. So that's what I always say. But I'm not sure exactly what you phrased there. Okay. Joshua 11 says, Trey, who is the best quarterback you've seen play in Razorback Stadium? I've seen Burrow, Mahomes, Hurts, Tua, Bryce Young, Dak, but none of them come close to Johnny Manziel performance in 2012. So that's what I was thinking. Johnny Manziel in 2012 was probably the best quarterback performance that I've seen in Razorback Stadium. And I remember talking about that when it happened. I've also seen Mahomes, Hurts. Did I see Tua? Did Tua play there? I know I saw Bryce Young. I saw Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow. Manziel, I would say, was probably the best college quarterback that I saw in person. Gumpster 117 says, unfortunately, we've let a lot of quarterbacks have career-defining games. Yes, they have. Heck, Jackson Dart, if you want to say career-defining games, I mean, he set all kinds of Ole Miss records that day. Homo Detective says, are you going to get a good vantage point to film the new and improved field entrance? No. So I was walking out. I should have mentioned this, but I was walking out of the press conference yesterday, and they're setting up. They've got the pillars and all this stuff. They're setting up for the entrance, for the player entrance before they run through the A. And I saw the main guy who was directing everybody. And I was like, so you guys getting set up for this? He's like, yeah. I was like, so it's going to be similar to last year? And he was like, well, actually dramatically different. It's definitely going to have a lot more intensity. So I'm not sure what all that entails, but should be something to see that they have a new field entrance. Dogtown Hog says, how many points will the offense average per game? I don't know what they averaged last year. Let's see. Last year, scoring offense, Arkansas was 5th in the conference at 32.9 points per game. They were at 30.9 in 2024, 26.6 in 2023, 32.5 in 2022. How many will they average per game? Should we look at what Memphis averaged last year? Scoring offense for Memphis in 2025, 32.5 points per game, 35.7 in 2024 to lead the conference, 39.4 in 2023 to lead the conference. I mean, let's say Arkansas does a better job, maybe not as explosive on offense, but they do a better job protecting the football. Let's say it's a tough schedule. 29 points per game average. It's a tough schedule. I have a hard time seeing them being explosive as they were last year on offense, but take care of the football better. Josh Weaver 1115 says, Trey, from what you've seen so far, can you confidently say the defense looks improved in the box? Yes. I feel like the defense will be better, particularly in the front seven. I think they'll be better. On the back end, I'm not as sure, particularly at safety, but I feel like at linebacker and especially on the defensive line that they are going to be better than they were last year and the year before that. Army of Nabunga, I don't even know how to say that, Army. I always just call you Army. Why is your skin so buttery smooth? How much in liters lotion do you go through in a day? Well, I could show you the lotion I use. I've got it over here. My wife is an esthetician, so this doesn't just happen, right? She's in skincare. I use this Bittle. This is not sponsored. It's Daily Essentials Face Moisturizer. I've been using it for a number of years. It's a good quality product. I put it on some other people. It doesn't leave you all greasy or anything like that. Put it on the dome and everything. It doesn't have SPF on it. It's the only thing. It doesn't have any like sunblock. But it's a good product. It goes a long way too. I've got a bathroom right over here. After COVID, this is crazy. So people don't know this, but so this is a home office situation. This is a home studio, and it's got a bathroom over here. I never use that, but after I got COVID, and this is back when like it was like, oh my gosh, you have to isolate and all this stuff. And I had isolated in this office and I was using this bathroom. So now I use this, like I've got my toothbrush, like it's almost like separate. My wife uses the bathroom by our bedroom and I use this one with, I use this shower. I don't know why. I just like it better. I like the shower better. So I've got all my stuff in there, but this is the face moisturizer I use, Bittle. Thanks for saying that about my buttery smooth skin. Comster 117 says, did the field get new grass this offseason, or are we keeping what we had the last couple of years? It'll be the same stuff, the Tahoma 31, whatever, engineered in Oklahoma State, whatever stuff. Some people I've seen them comment from like some of the footage from practices in the stadium. The grass looks terrible. The grass looks great. It's just in the end zones where they had painted the grass. That area is, it just takes a little while for it to kind of recover from all that paint on it. But otherwise the grass does look great. Raw Hog says, does Cramsey's comments on the quarterback battle make you believe that AJ is still in the running? I think that's just what coaches say. I like Cramsey. I think he's as honest as he can be, but he's not going to say it's like the quarterback competition's over right now. I mean, no coach would say that. So, and let's see what happens. Like, I don't mean to close the door on it. I just am calling it kind of like I see it, but I don't mean to close the door on it. I just think there are things that AJ needs to work on before he's ready to be the starting quarterback at Arkansas. So here's Razorback Pride clarifying. Sorry, on YouTube, we're only allowed to say so many words, so that I had to remove a word to try to make the question. Sometimes that makes sense. I'm still not sure what it was, but yeah, anyway, that was my opinion on it. All right, everybody. Hey, one real quick, I want to tell you about the Back Nine Golf. If you haven't gone and checked it out, it's you can do a free demo, by the way. Just go to their website, theback9golf.com, scroll over Arkansas, Fayetteville. It's it's on College, right over by that CrossFit and the McDonald's and, where Green Acres forks off right there. But it's right behind that CrossFit. They've got 4 hitting bays. They've got 2 massage chairs. They've got TVs all over the place, chairs, sitting areas, tables, all that kind of stuff. They have a VIP section with a bar, with a pool table, with all tables in there and stuff. Be great for like fantasy football drafts or parties, birthday parties, getting together, all that kind of stuff. So they have several different membership tiers, but it's monthly or yearly memberships. Theback9golf.com. I use it all the time. And it's especially helpful when it's cold or when it's rainy, but you can get so much feedback on it. So go check them out at theback9golf.com. Tell them Trey Biddy sent you. All right. Appreciate Kevin Bohannon hopping on with us. Appreciate all of you guys for your questions. And we'll be back with you guys soon. Walk and talk on Saturday. So after the red-white game, we'll have a walk and talk. All right, everybody. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. We'll catch you next time.